Discipline literacy reflection. What process did I use? The process that I used kind of started earlier in the year before this assignment was ever assigned. During the end of the first 9 weeks into the second 9 weeks, I realized that my students were struggling, and I began looking up resources for my kids because I noticed that they were not connecting their math concepts with the information that they were being given. So I knew that I needed to do something in order to help them make the connections. So I reached out to the secondary math literacy specialist at the co-op and started looking up websites to help make this connection for my students. Although the websites that I looked up, I wasn't sure how to tell if they were credible or not. So I kind of fell flat on the website sources, and the co-op specialist helped me a lot. She told me to use manipulatives and things like that to help the kids, but not just with the manipulatives did that help. So she really helped me a lot, but I still needed a little more information to go along with just the manipulatives. I found a couple of websites that did give me some good information, but it was kind of hard. This is one of the websites that I did run across, so I did use this again in part of this research information. Gagarsky broke this down really well for me. He broke this down and said that math should be fun. In the explanation of math, math is a universal language that everybody should be able to understand. He said that we should make this a more of like a game for our kids, and it should be something that with the older kids, it should be something that teaches our kids how to process things that they're going to learn in real life. We need to bring that to the table and teach them from there. That way they can process from the information that they know into things that they're learning, which makes 100% sense if you think about it, because we're not going to do anything as humans that we don't have to do. If I don't have to wash clothes, I'm not going to. And so, I mean, that's just common sense in my opinion. But, so in reality, this was a difficult assignment for me because it didn't take me just one sitting. It took me 3 or 4. It took me, let's say, almost 2 9 weeks to get this to where I really understood what I was looking for and how to implement it into the classroom. I did discover quite a few things about the disciplinary aspect of math literacy into the classroom. It's not just the reading part of it. When we say literacy, we think that we're just talking about the reading aspect of it, but it's not. It's the comprehension of it. We need to, if we need to put it in words, or if we need to break it down into pictures, that's what we need to do. If we need to bring the manipulatives into the classroom, if we need to draw the pictures, or however we need to do this for our kids, is how we do it. We break this down into the simplest form for our kids to understand what we're trying to convey to them. So this was something that I had known, but I never had put it into the idea of, and the theory makes sense to me when somebody points that out, but before I had never thought about it like that. The other thing that I did this more for a classroom use, but as I continued on, I realized that it wasn't just for my classroom use. It was as well as professional growth as for classroom use. because I wanted my kids to make it to that graduation point and be able to make it to a college level. But I also wanted to grow as a professional and know what I was trying to do. So I wanted both as I kept going. I wanted to grow and I wanted to be able to help my students as well. So it benefited me on both sides of that aspect. Like I said at first, it was a struggle for me to be able to know if the research I was looking for was credible or not. So after we got this project, it was a lot easier to tell if the sites that I had already reviewed were credible. And looking back, some of them were credible. I noticed that they weren't all research-based, but they were from past educators or retirees, or some of them were research-based where I noticed that some of the colleges had gone in and watched or observed some teachers. So it did have a little bit of research-based, but the one that I used, the hands-on math, is research-based, and it has a lot of really good information because as far as I can tell, they have gone in. This has to do with past educators. It also has where the people that have their input as far as Gagarsky and the others that he conveyed with have been in a classroom, or people such as the committee Educational Horizons. They provide extra help. I have personally reached out to Jan at the Educational Horizons Committee. They offer extra worksheets and manipulatives. These manipulatives come with a race car and basketball activity, and I can't wait to get these because they may not benefit my class, but they may be something that I can alter and use. That way my kids will be more inclined to use these. So I'm really excited about that. This resource didn't need much modification in my classroom. This is a math-based research project that has been used, so it is specified for my content area.